L.C. Green. Welcome to Gumbo Live right here at the Bread Basket, downtown Eufaula, Alabama. And we are here today with a very special guest. And I want us to listen to him very carefully. He's gonna give all of us an opportunity to take part in something. All of us in Eufaula and Barber County and the surrounding area. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, there's going to be some numbers. There'll be some phone numbers put up where you can call and take part in this special program that Lieutenant Gates is going to tell us about. We have with us Lieutenant Gates from the Eufaula Fire Department. Thank you for coming, Lieutenant.
Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you here. One of the things that we are proud of about this show, we try to make this show fun, but we want to make it informative. And you got some information for us today that I think that everybody would be wanting to hear about. Let me say it like that. And sitting there talking to you, Lieutenant Gates is a 9-year veteran of the Eufaula Fire Department. He fell in love volunteering in Louisville. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And he's a homeboy. He's Louisville. That's close enough to be a homeboy. And he fell in love by volunteering for the Louisville Fire Department. Had your family business? Is that the grocery that you had the family business? And 9.5 years ago, he come here full time. With the Eufaula Police, Lord have mercy, Eufaula Fire Department.
Easy now.
Sometime we the Eufaula Fire Department, we glad to have you. Did anything I missed that you want to tell us about yourself, Lieutenant?
No, like I said, I'm a lifelong Barber Countyan, well rooted in the community, and glad to be here. Like I said, appreciate the opportunity to come out and speak today.
Yes, sir. And from talking to you, you love your job. You love being a firefighter. And you also have the responsibility of being a medic.
I am paramedic. Been a paramedic for going on 7 years. Been an EMT since 1997.
Yeah.
And enjoy helping people.
All right. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So that's a rewarding job, and also a very stressful job.
It can be.
Yes. Yeah, it can be. But anyway, let's talk about what we're here for, Lieutenant. We got a special project that you're the chair of, and I was talking to the chief, and the chief said that you're very good, and would become the special project. That's why he got you doing it, because you put your heart in it. And so just tell us first of all, what is it, and tell us much information about what it is that you are doing that we are talking about today.
Okay. What we've got coming up is our second annual Eufaula Fire Department 5K race and fun run for the MDA. And some of you may not know, but the MDA, or Muscular Dystrophy Association, is kind of the adopted charity of choice for the fire service. This particular year marks the 60th anniversary of the partnership between fire departments across the United States and the MDA. So it's an ongoing tradition. MDA helps a lot of people that have muscular diseases. They're one of the largest, if not the largest, organization or charity that funds research for muscular diseases.
Let me ask you something, Lieutenant. And periodically I do that. I interrupt you periodically. So now, this is the second annual for the Eufaula Fire Department, but fire departments all over the United States support.
Like I said, it's kind of some 60 years ago, fire departments kind of adopted the MDA as their charity of choice, because the diseases that MDA affects a lot of times are children, and fire departments love helping children. And so it's been an ongoing partnership for 60 years now.
Okay. Now tell us about last year. Now this is a walk and a run, or just a run?
It's both. We do for ages 14 and under. We do a 1 mile fun run, and it's just there to get them out, get some activities, some enjoyment and exercise. And then the 5K race, we have a men's and women's division, and we award prizes for first, second, and third place finishers in those. And it's a timed event. They're racing the clock to see who's fastest 5K participant.
But now let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Because we got runners all over the area, all over. I mean, so do runners come from everywhere? They come from Montgomery and all them places?
We had 75 participants last year that actually showed up there the race and participated, and we had people from all over. The young man that wound up winning the men's division last year was from outside Atlanta. So, you know,
Really?
he heard about it and was in town and decided to give it a try.
Got men's, women's division, and children?
We do.
Okay, all right. So now what we're going to do, Lieutenant, we're going to put this on YouTube and everywhere. That way, people everywhere can hear us.
Right.
So, and we're telling them that regardless of where you are, you can come and take part in this run.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I found out about runners and motorcycle riders. They will go wherever there's an event.
That's right.
So so it's going to be here in Eufaula.
It is. It's on the walking trail, East Broad Street. Starts that morning. Registration starts about 7:30 a.m. and the race is going to start around 8:30, and the fun run starts at 9.
Okay, now what date that is? That's the 21st
June,
of
Saturday, June 21st.
Okay, and this is May we're in now, so we got plenty enough time
Right.
to come out there. Now I see this here. Looking at this, Lieutenant, the $25. That's what each runner pays.
It's an entry fee, and that also covers the cost of a T-shirt. If you pre-register by June 1st, you know, it covers your entry fee and your T-shirt.
Okay.
And you know,
So now in order to get that T-shirt, you got to register by June the 1st, and that way I'm reading say you'll be guaranteed a T-shirt. Now it's going to be a MDA T-shirt or what kind of?
it's actually a customized T-shirt that we make up each year for the event. Last year we had a theme and kind of followed that with our T-shirts. This year we changed it up. We're going to have a different design, different T-shirt, because runners as a whole, the people that go out and run all these 5Ks and 10Ks, the T-shirt a lot of times is kind of a reward to them. A lot of people collect them, so we kind of try to make it unique. Something
Are you a runner, Lieutenant?
when I have to. If something's chasing me, I will run.
Oh yeah.
Now, I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do some running, and to try and stay in shape. But I'm not a competitive runner by no means.
Okay. Now I tell you what I got. I'm thinking about three people that are. I tell you what I got. I'm thinking about three people that I will sponsor myself for them to run. We're gonna get Tony back there to run, and we'll get Mark, and we'll get Ron, and we'll.
Sounds good.
Now give us an idea, Lieutenant, and we'll go back and talk about the MDS in a minute. But give us an idea of what kind of prizes. You said there's going to be some awards given?
We give medallions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We actually had a custom medallion made last year, gold, silver, and bronze, first, second, third place. Has the date of the event, commemorates what we're doing, and it's a pretty snazzy keepsake.
Okay. Now what about sponsors? Can we, if Gumbo Live, this program, wanted to be a sponsor, tell me, Lieutenant, about sponsorship. Is there such thing as sponsorship?
We do have sponsorships, and in the next couple of weeks we'll be canvassing the community, hitting businesses and organizations, much like we did last year. One thing I want to note is all the proceeds from the race go directly to the MDA. The fire department does not benefit in any way, shape, form, or fashion from this. All the money raised goes through the MDA. And but we will be going out and doing sponsorship. There's 3 levels.
Okay.
We have a gold level at $100, silver at $75, and then bronze level sponsorship at $50. That will get your business name or organization's name on the back of the T-shirt. And last year I think we had over 100 T-shirts that went out, so it's some good advertisement there. People are going to wear those T-shirts all year long.
Okay. Now tell us the prices again for sponsorship.
It's $100, $75, and $50.
$175 and $50. I mean, we could sell bottle caps and get that. So $100, $75, and $50. And I want to I want to challenge everybody in media. We ought to have our name up there. Gumbo Live is going to be on there. I'm speaking now for $100 sponsorship.
Well, we appreciate it.
We're going to try to encourage all of our local businesses. And one of the things that I try to talk about all the time, Lieutenant, and help me with this now. Now you're telling us all of the money going to MDA.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How does that affect our area?
Well, the money, we have two locations within Alabama. There's a Birmingham office and a Montgomery office, and we fall under, our region falls under the Montgomery office. And I'm sure most everybody is familiar with the MDA Telethon, the Jerry Lewis Day
That's what I was
Labor Day
wondering.
Telethon. It's the same charity, MDA. The money we collect goes into the Montgomery office and is dispersed from there out through the MDA charity. I can tell you this, I've researched to find out 77 cents of every dollar raised that's donated to the MDA goes strictly to research and special projects. So that's they're one of the top rated charities in the nation year in and year out. So, excuse me, that's one thing we feel really strong about is the money's going to a good cause. There's not a huge administrative fee taken off the top. The money goes. Not only do they fund research, but they also have kids camps. And, we're all familiar, we've all seen special needs children that, they don't get to do the same thing that other children get to do.
Right.
And MDA provides a summer camp for those type of children that's tailored to their needs. They have volunteer counselors that come in. There's volunteer workers that come in, and for 1 week, they get to do the activities that normal children, everyday activities.
Where's the closest camp to us?
They have a camp in Alabama, but it changes periodically, and this year I honestly cannot tell you where it will be. I think it has been in Coleman in the past.
So now let's talk a little bit about this, Lieutenant, and I don't expect you to be able to answer all of the questions, but I'm glad you told us one thing. I'm glad you told us about the money that goes, and it goes to research. A lot of times these organizations will pick up money for somebody and they don't ever get it.
And you can go to the MDA website. It's www.mda.org, and they've got tons of information out there, and it's very interesting. And actually, if you spend a little time on it, it'll tug at your heartstrings. But
tell us before you go, Lieutenant. Tell our audience again how to get to this website.
It's www.mda.org.
We'll see. Can we put that on? We'll put a little trailer on there on the screen too. Because we live in a society now, Lieutenant, everybody's so skeptical of everything, and everybody think everybody got a scheme. So, but you're sitting here and you're laying it out to us, and we really appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about that camp. Let me tell you why I want to talk about that camp, Lieutenant. Because here we had Special Olympics here. We had Special Olympics here at the what was that, at the high school? No, it wasn't the high school. Community Center. We're at the Community Center. And I tell you what, that's what it was. It was an Olympic style events for the special needs children. So it's the camp based on...
It's very similar to that. Some of the activities are canoeing, water sports, swimming. These people are trained in how to deal with the special needs of those children. And like I said, it gives those children, for 1 week, they get an opportunity to be a normal child. They're there with other children that have the same diseases and illnesses that they have. They get to make friends and realize they're not the only kid suffering for that.
But look, how Lieutenant, I think was very important. Number one, how do our children from this area, you said that last year was at Coleman?
And I think it's right.
Let's say it was there.
Right.
And we're not going to hold you to that where it was at. That's not important. What is important is, to me anyway, is how do our children from this area, because we're going to support this race.
Right.
You understand? This is going to be very successful. So that means our money is going to go to Montgomery. How do our children? Okay, go ahead.
If you had a child that was interested, you would start through the website. We've got phone numbers that I can get you into contact with people from the Montgomery office. But first you have to identify the need. Let them know you're there and what you have, what circumstances you have. Contact them through, in our area would be the Montgomery office. They have event coordinators there, and they have sponsor information, and they could get you lined up and try to get your child in.
Okay,
So,
two things. Does it cost the child anything?
it does not cost the child or the family.
Or the family, okay? Now, help me with this. When the Special Olympics was at Community Center, how many do you think, Mark? It was a lot of children there.
Right.
So my question to you, and you may not be able to answer this, Lieutenant, and please don't feel bad if you can't answer. And I'm not even sure it's fair for me to try to ask you all these questions, but I'm trying to get as much information
Right.
out as I can about this, because I'm really going to support all this. How many children from this area can go? Do you have any idea?
I honestly really couldn't give you a definite answer. And I know, like I said, they have more than one camp. There's other states that do it in our area and other regions. The way the lady that I deal with through our Montgomery office, she basically told me that no child will be turned away.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. Okay, and something like that too, we probably could get more information when we go to that website.
Absolutely.
We're going to make sure we put that website on there.
There's a special tab on there that you can click and get all the information for the summer camps, as well as other events that they have. And they also have a community-based tab on there that you can go and see if you want to help in the local community by starting up some type of activity. There's information on there, to get something going in our area.
So if somebody was really interested in having maybe a camp,
I honestly couldn't say.
Okay.
But if you contact the Montgomery office, they can answer all your questions on that, and they're more than happy. It's one of the most active, charities that I've been a part of. They actually do. We get a lot of feedback from them. They stay involved, and like I said, I'm pretty strongly involved in it for the fact that I know the money goes to a good cause.
Right.
The research is there, and they're trying to help people from all walks of life. And right now, they're funding over 250 research projects worldwide for over 40 or 50 different muscular diseases.
What I want to do, Lieutenant, I'm gonna get my production crew to go back and look over the DVD that we did at the Special Olympics and try to see who was over that. I know Alabama Power was one of the sponsors, and I know that the people. And the reason why I'm saying this because I'm gonna try to get you and them connected. That way we'll have access to, because they had children come all the way from what is that, Abbeville? What county? Henry County. We had children from Henry County here.
Right.
And Bullitt County, and what I would like to do is put you. I know you got a busy schedule. I know you got a busy schedule, but I also hear your heart, and I know how you feel about this. But get you and whoever we can. Was it Melanie? I couldn't remember the lady's name. But what I'm saying is get you in contact with somebody that got access to all of the special needs children.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that we can look into that camp. We can look into where the camp is going to be, and then we need to look into. I know it's going to take transportation and all that stuff to get them there, but if it's not going to cost the family or the child anything,
it's certainly worth looking into.
Sure, and I think that would be a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
And I already have admitted more than once that working the Special Olympics, it was very, very, very moving for me. That was a moving.
It's absolutely, people, you realize what you take for granted on a daily basis.
Right.
How you've been blessed. And,
Right.
Everybody I've talked to, and I've had friends that actually went up and did some of the camps, because a lot of the firefighters in the region donate their time or volunteer their time and go up and act as camp counselors. And they say it's one of the most rewarding things they've ever done.
I'll never forget this. I was standing in the middle of the Civic Center, and I was talking to this lady, and I was just talking to her, and I got 3 girls, and I told her, I said, none of my girls are special needs, and I'm really, really blessed, you know. And she said, I'm blessed too. And she pointed to her child who was a special need child. She says, I'm blessed too. And man, I tell you what, that really. So I tell you what else I'm excited about, Lieutenant. This is a firefighter sponsored.
Like I said, it's. And I hate to keep reiterating myself.
Sure.
But it's the charity of choice for the fire service across the United States. Somehow 60 years ago, the International Association of Firefighters and MDA, partnered, and it's been a tradition in the fire service ever since. Most people are most familiar with when it comes to the MDA, other than the Labor Day Telethon, Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon,
right.
or the Feel the Boot programs. I'm sure you've all seen.
I've seen that.
With the boot, collecting money for years and years and years. That was the only fundraising activity that we did for MDA. And year before last, we were discussing, a way to,
do something else.
Not kind of panhandle, make people feel so obligated or bothered to sit outside the local businesses and everything and more or less beg for money. We thought we'd get a little more proactive and get a community-based event. And being in the EMS and fire service, health and recreation and physical fitness is one of our goals.
Right.
And so we thought this would be a great way to not only expose the walking trail. My family and I, we really enjoy using the walking trail, and we're proud you fellas got that. So we thought the 5K race, the fun run, would be a great way to not only highlight the walking trail, but to get people off the couch and out into the fresh air and sunshine and get them some activities going and some exercise. And but it also raises money for a great charity. So like I said, this is the second year we're doing this, and we hope it's going to be an annual event. You will still see us out doing the Feel the Boot.
Still gonna do that.
We still will be doing that.
I knew about Feel the Boot because, believe it or not, I am a fire chaplain currently for the Dothan Fire Department.
Okay.
And I've been there for years doing that, and so I knew feeling the boot. But now, I think that we ought to take our hat off to the department here, because they're going beyond just filling the boot. And we're going to give you as much coverage as humanly possible.
We appreciate
on this program. And again, I already committed to sponsoring, being one of the sponsors. I want to see Gumbo Live.
Outside of this, you'll see in the next couple of weeks, next few days actually, the flyers going up all over town. As we go out and contact the businesses, we'll be putting the flyers up. We also have a Facebook page. If you're a Facebook person, and nowadays most everybody is, you can go to log on to Facebook and go to Eufaula Fire Department, second annual Eufaula Fire Department 5K race for MDA. And we'll be updating that almost daily. We've got some special projects or special events the day of the race that we're working on right now. I really can't go into detail. But one of the big things that we had last year, the comments that we heard from people was, I'd love to participate, but I don't have anything to do with my children. So we're working on some ideas to get in place between now and race day, that maybe we can keep the kids occupied long enough for mom and dad to go out and do the race.
But let me tell you what I've seen, Lieutenant, since you brought that up, and this just might be an idea. I've seen where parents would run with babies in strollers, and
we had several people last year with
backpack and stuff like that.
And one thing I want to stress, and I tell everybody when I go out, you don't have to race. You don't have to race the clock for time. Probably 2/3 of the people that participated last year just did it at a leisurely pace for their own enjoyment.
Now you're talking about
me.
I'm gonna do the walk part of it. Now it say run, but you say it's a walk. One mile.
We have a 1 mile fun run. You do a half mile out and a half mile back. So it's really not that far.
As long as in the world, it's fun running a mile. But look, so not to give out something we can't give out, but in the back of everybody's mind is trying to find something for the children. Something for the children. We have not finalized that yet. Tony, you gonna take part in this run? All right, buddy.
like I said, we're looking at a number of things to do to get some activities going there that day. And, you know, there again, this is all volunteer. The guys that participate in this event are all off duty. They're doing it on their own time.
Sure.
So, you know.
Now, let me ask you this here. Will there be any kind of vendors? Are vendors allowed out there? You know what I'm talking about?
Not so much so this year.
Okay.
You know, we're looking to make this an annual event. We're trying to add to it bigger and better every year. We actually usually have our fire department mascot will be there.
Okay.
Sparky the fire dog.
Okay. Ladder truck?
We'll have the ladder truck out there. But one thing we're going to have there this year, and you know, that we haven't been able to do in the past is, and a lot of people in the community probably aren't aware that we still have the first fire truck that was bought, the first motorized fire truck that Eufaula ever had. We have a 1925 American LaFrance fire truck.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I wasn't going to not let you leave today without talking about that. I saw a picture of it. And me and you and the chief was talking. And that's the original?
That is the first motorized fire truck in the city of Eufaula.
Okay.
So it was brought in actually by rail in 1925.
1925.
So next year it'll be 90 years old, pushing 100. And we're fixing to start a big push and some fundraising events to restore that. You know, there's too much history and too much heritage.
How bad is it?
It's actually not, you know, in that bad a shape. It needs some restoration. We're in the process now of tracking down some parts and some people that have dealt in this kind of stuff, and we're trying to get a budget together, see what we're looking at as far as total cost. I will say this, it's going to be in the thousands, not the hundreds, of course.
Sure.
But it's my understanding that after it was taken out of service or retired for a long time, it sat outside of town in a barn. So you can imagine the wear and tear of the daily.
Sure. Where is it at now, Lieutenant? At
right now it is at the Northside Fire Station, and it's been there since I came here.
Northside, that's out by the airport?
That's out by the airport, and it's a piece of history, and it's been one of my pet projects from the get-go when I came in here to, you know, get this thing running. And 8 years ago, a group of guys, we actually got together, put some time into it, and we got it cranked and kind of tooled around the tarmac out by the airport on it a little bit, and it's been parked ever since.
Now, is it visible?
It is not, and
okay.
That's, you know, from a safety standpoint, a liability standpoint, we can't put it out right now in the shape that it's in. But we would love to get that truck restored back to, you know, working order so that we can use it for parades, special events, have it housed here in Eufaula. You know, we pride ourselves here on historical.
Yeah. Right.
So,
let me ask you this. When you were talking about the money for restoration of it, is that going to be a community project? That's a city project? I mean,
it's going to be kind of a pet project of the fire department.
Okay.
To where we're going to have guys in-house are going to do the work, and we're fortunate enough here that we've got guys that are skilled in body work, paint, auto, you know, restoration, that kind of stuff. So we're going to be volunteering our time to get it back where it needs to be. Like I said, we want to find a permanent home for it so that it can be on display, you know, so that everyone can enjoy it. And but we would love to get it back to the shape that it can participate in parades and stuff like that. And it's not too far gone to do that.
And so we talking about motor and everything. We talking about getting it where it could actually run on its own.
Oh yes, we want to go back to original shape. And like I said, it's 6-7 years ago, maybe 8, we had it cranked and running. But there are some mechanical issues that need to be addressed. And the parts for a 1925 fire truck are just not out there. Like
that was my next question.
But we had done some research back then, and we found parts as far away as Pennsylvania for this particular truck. And so we're trying to get the interest back generated in it, and been talking with the mayor and City Hall about getting this done. They kind of gave us the go-ahead to start pursuing it. And so the day of the 5K race, we're going to have that truck brought in. We're going to load it on a trailer. You know, we certainly at this point can't drive it, but we're going to load it on a trailer, bring it over and have it set out so that everybody that comes over can, you know, look at it, give it a once over, and hopefully donate.
Okay, now let's look at this. Let's take this at one time. So on June the 21st, the Saturday of June the 21st, when Tony and Mark and all of them out there running,
That's right.
I can stand there by the fire truck and invite people to come over.
That's right. You can get your picture made with a
I give
piece
them a
of
picture.
history.
All right. So now, two things gonna happen that we know gonna happen. On June the 21st, that's a Saturday. What time is it gonna start? It's gonna start at 7:30 in the morning.
Registration starts at morning at 7:30.
I'll see y'all at 12.
It'll be over and done, buddy.
All right, I better get that. So we know that's gonna happen. And we know that the very first
motorized fire truck.
fire truck of the city of Eufaula, historical Eufaula.
And like I said, a lot of people, are probably not even aware that truck exists.
Right.
It's kind of mothball sitting in a station.
Right.
But, for us, it means a lot,
Sure.
Tradition in the fire service is an ongoing thing. But it's something that we're very passionate about. But it's something, a way to give back to the community, too, to save our heritage.
Yeah. I bet it would be very interesting, Lieutenant, to find out how many fire departments still have their original motorized.
Right. Very few.
Very few.
Doing research on this project, we've actually found two just like the one we have. And the city of Atlanta has one 1925 American LaFrance that they've restored. And, it's a beautiful truck. And
Who makes those?
American LaFrance.
American
the name of the
LaFrance.
company.
Are they still making vehicles now?
They are no longer in business. They went out of business last year.
Last year.
But they made a lot of fire truck over a long period of time.
And that's all they did was just fire engines?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. So now we have another piece of the city history that we could put on display during the pilgrimage and all that
Absolutely.
other stuff.
That's,
That's another drawing card. I bet you that would be another drawing card. And firefighters are a unique breed, and and where they may not mean nothing to nobody else, it means a lot to the fire, and I like that kind of stuff too. And you'd be surprised at the people in this area. So that's something else that get us interested in coming out there to the walk and the run. I keep saying walk. I'm emphasizing walk.
And it is a very
fellas
interesting looking
emphasize that
machinery.
run.
You're looking at a piece of machinery that's almost 100 years old, and it's very unique style.
Sure.
Doesn't look anything like the modern fire trucks.
But got hoses and stuff?
We still have some of the original hoses, the original suction lines on it. Has the huge old Model A type headlights on it. It's stick driven and stick controlled. It's a whole unique.
Well, now it wasn't no ladders back in those days, was it?
Yeah, it actually has wooden ladders.
It got wooden ladder on
Wooden
it.
fire ladders. And, you're talking about a truck, like I said, 90 years old, and if we can get it back run 45, 50 miles an hour.
Is that okay? So now let's talk about that one more time. There's gonna be a place there where we'll be able to donate towards the restoration of the original motorized fire.
More than likely, we will have a bucket or something set up for that. But the big thing the day of the race is it's a drawing card for us. We want to get it out there and just start creating that community awareness that, hey, this truck does exist. We still have it. It's a part of our history. And but more than anything, to let the public see the condition that it's in, so that they can see the need we have in raising funds to get it restored.
So we can help. We can do. And we big enough that we are big enough people that we can do more than one thing.
Oh yeah.
And we can support more than one thing at a time. I found that out about us. I found that out about us, and I found that out about folks, period, who really want to make a contribution, who really want to make a difference. We can support MDA.
Right.
We can support that. We can support that with our registration, $25 registration. And our sponsorship. Now let me say this, and I take my hat off to all of us here in Eufaula, especially the business folks. I believe that you're going to have more sponsors than you really believe, because I believe that they're going to get the businesses are going to get behind it, and the churches are getting involved with things like this. I'm thinking here myself right now of 3 sponsors that I know that me personally I can vouch for. And so, and I know it's just, what it's going to take, Lieutenant, really, is just going out to these different businesses and let them know what we are doing.
Right, and like I said, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be knocking on doors, introducing ourselves and letting folks know what's going on, explaining the sponsorship levels to them, and trying to find, corporate and business sponsorships.
Sure. I mean, for $100, $100. And
like I said, it's a very worthwhile cause.
Sure.
The research alone, that maybe they can find the cure for these diseases that affect so many people. One of the diseases that I can tell you about is ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Everybody's heard of that. We actually have people in the community that have it. And they fund research projects of that type to try to overcome muscular diseases. So, like you said, for a $100 donation, you can, you're helping a worthwhile charity, you're helping the community, and for that matter, you may be helping somebody that you know.
Let me tell you something about research. And let me say this to you, Lieutenant, about history. We have a young lady here in this town, Auburn Grace Thomas, who has a rare form of cancer. And it's not but 14 people in the world that has that form of cancer. She's a baby.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So Eufaula is on the map because we got it out to all of the major networks. That we have a young lady, we have a young baby here, Auburn Grace Thomas, who has a rare form of cancer that only 14 people in the world has that cancer. And the problem is research. One of and I use this word, one of the greatest research hospital for children, I think, is St. Jude in Memphis. And her cancer is so rare that St. Jude say, well, we don't know how to treat her.
Right.
So they wouldn't let her come.
And that's where the research comes in.
Right. And I'm saying that just to second what you're saying about the importance of research. And MDA covers so many different diseases. Is that the right word to use? Right.
And there's illnesses and diseases there. And there again, go to the website, look it up, www.mda.org. And there's a tab on there that you can click that will tell you the diseases and muscular problems that they actually fund. There are so many that it had to be alphabetized. And perusing through there last night and kind of reading a little brief description of a lot of them, they could start from the top of the head and go to the end of the big toe. I mean, there are so many muscular diseases that people are unaware of, and they're there. 77 cents of every dollar going to research and kids camps. So when you take today's charities and the administrative costs that usually come off, 77% of every dollar is a big part of what we raise.
Sure. But look, two things, Lieutenant, before I let you go. Again, I'm making a commitment, and I'm gonna give it.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
I'm gonna get my production.
We'll get off the air. I'm gonna get his 100 now.
I'm gonna give it my production crew to make sure we give you plenty airtime, and we're gonna start as quick as we can. And that's what I want to say to you. June will be here before we know it.
Right.
June will be here before you know it. And I always say that we ought to be fair to the people that we want to donate. So I would ask you to start as early as humanly possible, because you'll be surprised at the response you get. And all I'm saying that we need to give people a fair enough time.
Last year we did this in August, and it's hot. But we kind of had last minute notice of we could do it, where we're going to be able to do it. So we had about a 4 or 5 week time span to get it organized, get it together. So we decided this year to move it back into June. So the planning for this one started 15 minutes after the race ended last year.
Good.
And it was my project last year, and it's my shift's project again this year. And we've got 14, 15 guys that are going to be putting heart and soul into making this happen by June 21st.
It's going to be
deadlines that I need
better.
everybody to remember.
Okay, go ahead.
June 1st, if you want, to make sure that you get a T-shirt by race day. You know, we need your entry form, $25 donation, which is basically what it is, registration fee, and that guarantees you a T-shirt. You can come by Central Fire Station here by the courthouse downtown on Orange Street and get that into us. Check out the Facebook page, second annual Eufaula Fire Department 5K race for MDA. The information's on there as well. We would love to see some of our corporate people, local businesses, you know, challenge your employees to participate and try to get some large groups up and come in. We'd love to work with some.
Look, let me ask you this, Lieutenant. Let me ask you this. So we know we can put it out on the air right now, so the people will know. And I know you said we can come by the Central Station. Is that correct? Term Central Station.
Yeah, right downtown. By the
and if you're not there, we can see somebody there.
Right. Any firefighter that's there, just ask in the office there during normal business hours, 8 to 5. We're there 24 hours a day, so
So anytime,
knock on the door. Chances are one of us will be walking around and you'll find somebody. But they'll have the registration forms there on every shift, every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And we'll get you signed up.
Okay. Now what about this? What about this? What about the possibility of we just going out? A lot of folks will help. A lot of folks will be sponsors. A lot of folks will give you something. But a lot of folks ain't gonna come to the state for whatever reason. For whatever reason.
And we saw a lot of that last year. We collected a lot of money or a lot of registration forms from people that, you know, said, look, I can't walk or run, can't be there that day, but I'd like to contribute. And a lot of people just made a donation.
Okay.
So, you know.
So what I'm saying though, Lieutenant, because I know that happens, what you just said, and we thank God for that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying to you, is it gonna be other places beside the main station where we can make our donation? Can we call and have somebody to come? Or will somebody be going out to different places on a regular basis?
Well, once we're out and about in the next couple of days, and you know we've kind of got our literature and all in today, and we're going to be, like I said, canvassing the community, talking to those businesses and sponsors, churches, you know, where we drop off the flyers, and these will be all over town. We usually do leave registration forms there. So if you're out, if you see this sign that, and you said you're going to put it up at the beginning and the end, if you see this flyer, chances are they have some registration forms. So you can pick the registration form up and then just drop it off at the fire department. If you have an organization or a business and you have several employees that want to register, give us a call. We'll be glad to run by and pick them up. And
no, we're gonna the flyer that the lieutenant is talking about, you'll be able to see it on the air when we first come on, and in between, and when we go off. And all the numbers that the lieutenant talked about, you get a chance to see the numbers. And now, so wherever you see this at, Lieutenant, we'll be able to register.
So you should be able to get some forms, and if not, you know, like I said, just give us a call, and we'll be glad to get you.
We're right here at the bread basket, and so we'll put one up here, so that means you're gonna leave us some registration form. Now what happened then, Chief? What happened, Lieutenant? What happened if somebody come in and they say, I don't have but $10? We'll take that $10 donation, but they don't expect no T-shirt. The $25
covers the entry fee for the race and the T-shirt. And
now what about this? What about this, Lieutenant? What about if I want a T-shirt? I'm gonna give you $25, but I don't want to participate. I don't want to run. I don't want to walk. But I want a T-shirt. Is that possible?
Absolutely. We had several people do that last year.
Okay. You know, people like T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? And I like to get me a T-shirt and wear it when I go home, when I go somewhere else, and people think I've been and took part. They think I've been ran somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, because I ride motorcycles too, and you're right. You know, the motorcycle community, they love the T-shirts, the different rallies and everything, and it's the same way with the runners. I found out that, you know, we're fortunate here since the trail's here now. We're actually seeing a lot more 5Ks, 10Ks, and fun runs. And but there's other communities too that have races almost every weekend. There's a 5K or a 10K going on somewhere. So a lot of runners and a lot of people collect the T-shirts. This one will be unique. It's I'll give you a hint. It's kind of fire service oriented. But it will be a unique T-shirt.
Is it now? You may not want to answer. Is this T-shirt gonna be locally made?
It will be locally made.
Okay, all right, that's even better. Now listen to what the lieutenant tell us. Listen to what he's telling us. Not only will we have a chance to help others, but we'll have a chance to help our local business. We want more than 100 T-shirts made.
Oh yeah, we would love to see that.
So now listen to me. Now answer this for me, Lieutenant. It all depends how many people register by June the 1st. That's going to determine.
June, I have to have the T-shirt order into the gentleman that makes the T-shirts. I've got to have a count in so that I can give him about 20 days notice to get them, between 20 and 14 days.
Okay.
So that's why we set the June 1st deadline.
Okay.
That gives us 3 weeks.
Okay. Now let's do this. Let's do this. The lieutenant, when he first came and he talked to us, he said about 100 T-shirts. That was last year. That was last year. Gumbo Live wasn't on last year. So if he did 100 without Gumbo Live, we're gonna do 200, because I know my listeners out there. I know you're good enough. I know you're good enough to at least give $25. We get a T-shirt.
And it's a charitable tax-free donation on top of that.
There you go, tax-free. And I tell you what else is gonna happen. What else is gonna happen, Lieutenant? We're gonna be out there with the camera, and everybody that gets a T-shirt, we'll make a DVD available to them.
Okay.
Of them. What we'll do, and I'm gonna work out the details with my production crew. I might be talking, but the camera will be there.
Right.
And everybody that gets a T-shirt, we'll give you a DVD of the events, especially with you on it. Mark,
They probably want to get it back now.
Mark frying it up. We're gonna make it happen some kind of way, Mark. We'll make it happen. Mark is the cameraman, and I'm putting a lot of stuff on it. But I'm trying, whatever I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make this very, very successful. And the best way to get on the camera is to be over there by me by that fire truck. That's the best way to get, and we get you a DVD of standing by the fire truck and holding up your T-shirt. And listen what I want us to do, all of my listeners out there. I want us to do 200 shirts. That means all we need is 200 sponsors. They had 100 sponsors last year. You didn't get a chance to see the lieutenant on TV. Now you can see him. You didn't get a chance to see me on TV last year or YouTube. Now you see us. We good for 100, ain't we? Go?
I hope so.
Huh? We good for 100 more T-shirts. You did 100 last year. So that's gonna be our goal. That's gonna be our goal to make this a great big success. And also we want to get a good start on. And I'm just amazed that we got the original.
1925.
1925.
Have his 90th birthday next year, and we would love to get it restored and be able to celebrate that 90th year in style.
Yeah. Now don't forget. Now we got a June 1st. We got a June 1st deadline for registration, and there's going to be all kind of places in town to register. The registration is $25. Registration is $25. You're going to see the flyer, and when you walk into a business and you see the flyer, ask them for a registration form. And if you don't want to register with the $25 because you may not have it, why don't you do this? Why don't you just make a donation or whatever size that you can, and we're gonna count those donations and see how many 25s we got in there and count towards them T-shirts.
Right.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like to tell us, Lieutenant, before we go?
No, sir. Once again, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come out.
Yes, sir. And if there's a need to come back, please come back, and we'll immediately put this over the airwaves. And thank the chief for us. Thank the chief for letting us know and giving us this opportunity. And once again, on June the 21st at 7:30 in the morning.
Nice and cool. Won't be
Nice
too
and
hot
cool.
about in.
And our beautiful walking trail right down the street from downtown Eufaula. Those of you who are out of town, we're looking forward for you to come. There's going to be a number. There's going to be a number that we can call if you're coming from out of town, this goes all over the world.
Right.
This
One thing
program.
I didn't mention is
Okay,
the
sure.
day of the race, while the race is going on, we will have people stationed throughout the trail. Nice cold water for you to drink.
Okay, all right.
And refreshments, so you don't have
Okay,
to worry about giving
okay.
out or getting too
Okay.
tired. We'll
Well,
also-
any runners, you know how we do when you take part in runs. You know, we always set up. You know, I know when we be running, man, there's always some water set up.
We're gonna take care of you.
Set up for. So runners. You know when you go somewhere, you know how you're well taken care of with good refreshment. So when you come to Eufaula, you're gonna get top-notch treatment. We're gonna take care of you. We're gonna be so happy that you're here, and so we want you to come. We want you to come from all over the area. Please come. What we're gonna do, Chief, is we're gonna start calling folks, letting folks know that this is on, so they get the word out.
We want everybody that can to help get the word out and get
Sure.
as many people there that day as we can.
You know, all you got to do is you follow TV1. You follow TV is all one word, lowercase, and one, and that's how you can pull us up on YouTube. Google, I always use Google. They tell me Google and YouTube the same thing, but call somebody that you know that's out of state, but you know they're a runner, and tell them to pull us up and hear about this run, this walk, hear about it, and let them make their way to Eufaula, and tell them once they get to Eufaula, they're going to be glad they came.
That's right.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
That's Lieutenant Billy Gates from the Eufaula Fire Department, who's the chairperson for the MDA Walk and Run on June the 21st. That's a Saturday, beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day.
I hope so.
And you can register at the Eufaula Fire Department or anywhere where you see this. There's going to be registration forms, a small registration fee of $25, guarantee you